helping you grow towards a healthier and happier you. Hi everybody. So today I want to give you some sources of information for you to look at and hopefully be inspired by if you are either trying to transition into a vegan lifestyle or just interested in learning more. I have some films and documentaries, some quotes, some books, and more. So I really hope these help you. So as for films and documentaries, I have 6 here. They're all very inspirational and informative, why I chose them. Hence why I chose them. So number 1, Cowspiracy. If you are interested in the more environmental aspect, this is a great movie. It follows one young environmentalist's passion for wanting to help the environment, and he kind of focuses on that aspect of it and learns about veganism and why it's the better option. The next movie is Vegucated. This is more of a documentary. It's basically one woman who decided that, I think she already was vegan, but she wanted to conduct her own study of sorts, and she got 3 people off a Craigslist ad, and they just volunteered for, I think, several weeks or maybe a few months to try a vegan lifestyle. Go cold turkey basically and just see what the effects were. So they all end up having better health by the end, but what's great about this movie, Vegucated, is that she also shows easy tips and tricks on how to transition into veganism, especially if it's very, very daunting for those, for some people. That's a great movie for tips. The next is Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. This documentary was made by an Australian man, I believe. He had very poor health, and so he decided that he was going to go on a juice fast for several months, I believe. Basically, in the beginning of the movie, he has diabetes, he's overweight, but it shows him traveling through the United States and learning more about healthy eating while he is juicing the whole time. And by the end of the movie, he ends up losing quite a bit of weight, and I think reversing or stopping his diabetes, as well as not being on any medications by the end. So that's really inspirational. Another is Forks Over Knives. This movie looks at specific cases of people who have bad health, real life cases, and who want to change their lifestyle and the way they live to become healthier and feel better. And so by the end of the movie, it shows how through a plant-based diet, they've all met their goals in being healthier and changing, either stopping their diseases or not having to take as much medication, all that sort of stuff. Forks Over Knives is great because it also focuses on the work of Dr. Colin T. Campbell, who wrote the China study, as well as Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. These 2 men have been really highly recognized and great figures in the health world, and so the movie touches upon their work and has them speak in it, and gives another great, deeper sense, so kind of more on the scientific level of health and why a plant-based diet is key for that. So if you're focused more on the health aspect, that's really, especially in the sciencey health aspect, that's a great movie. Another is Hungry for Change. So this movie was actually one of the ones that first really inspired me to change the way I lived. It basically has a bunch of highly recognized people in the health world, and they are talking most of the time in the movie, explaining overall why a plant-based diet is best for health, for the planet, for the environment, but with a focus on the health aspect. And while this is happening, they also have a really great visual. They have an actress acting out herself living with the typical American diet in the typical American, workforce, just kind of your average person. And they show that she's fatigued, she's not clear-minded at all, she's just not in the best of health. She also has some weight she wants to lose. So as the kind of pioneers of the health world, so to speak, are speaking in the movie, simultaneously this actress is showing how she's transitioning herself to a more plant-based vegan lifestyle, and it's also showing all the benefits she's having, such as clearer mind, she's sleeping better, she's losing some weight, she feels refreshed and more energetic and everything. So it's really just a great, definitely a lot of information that's in Hungry for Change, but also a great visual and just inspiration about how, you can kind of say, like, I want to change my life like that actress. Obviously, again, it's her acting, but the experience or the changes she experiences are all real for people who have done this. So it's just really inspirational. Another one similar to that is Food Matters. Similar setup where they have highly recognized people in the health world speak upon the subject of food and changing your lifestyle to be a vegan, plant-based diet. Again, very informational. I highly recommend it. So as for other movies, there's two that I haven't watched, but I've heard a lot about. They're both on the ethics side of things. The first is Earthlings, and the second is Farm to Fridge. They both focus on kind of the treatment of animals, and if you're interested in learning more about that, I have heard that they're great. Obviously hard to watch at some points, but really, really just makes you stop and think. So for the next category, kind of similar to movies and documentaries, but it's speeches. So I have three. One of the first ones is so informative and inspirational, as I've been saying for everything, but it's really just makes you stop and think. It's by Gary Yourofsky. A lot of the time you can just search under YouTube, Gary Yourofsky, the best speech ever. That's usually what it's titled, but it's a very, very good intro to veganism. But he also just says some things that just really make you stop and think. Similar to this is 100 Reasons to Go Vegan. 101 Reasons to Go Vegan. Not by Gary, but another man who similar he gives a very good overview. At the same time, this one also, he talks a lot about the kind of philosophical aspect of it, I guess, very lightly, but kind of asking the question, why do we eat meat in the first place? And, whatever made us do that. So that's just really interesting. Again, he's 101 Reasons to Go Vegan, so it's really, if you're in the early stages, great video to watch. One other one is Uprooting the Leading Causes of Death. This is by a doctor. I don't know his name, but he just basically talks about the leading causes of death, which are chronic diseases and diet-related diseases, which all can be stopped, sometimes treated and prevented by eating a plant-based diet. So he also does a lot of kind of statistics and number sides of it, and if that's helpful to you, then I would definitely recommend checking that out. Okay, so for my last segment of resources, I have a list of 5 books right here. So these definitely are not all of them. There are so many books written on the topic of health, especially veganism and eating a plant-based diet. But some of the ones that I've read are Starch Solution, which focuses on just the importance of starch in our diets. I think some people are afraid of starches, thinking, oh, they're carbs, they make you gain weight, whatever, but really that's not true. And that book really also illustrated that point. Eat to Live is a great, especially for a beginner, it's just great at talking about the whole view of health. 80-10-10 for those who have been eating a plant-based diet for a while and want to take their nutrition to the next step. This really talks about your macros and how you should be eating 80% carbs, 10% fat, and 10% protein. I think this is a great book. I definitely think the author has a great point, and while I don't necessarily follow his rules 100%, I try to follow them pretty closely in my own diet. And the last one is Comfortably Unaware. This book talks about the environmental aspects of animal agriculture and how veganism can help really save the planet in many senses. So that's a great book if you want to learn about the more environmental aspects of veganism. So now I just have some quotes that I found online a while back, actually, when I first became vegan, that really stood out to me and really just changed the way I thought about things. So the first one is by Dafkin Raza. I'm not sure who he is, but he said that if you think that being a vegan is difficult, imagine being a factory farmed animal. Leonardo da Vinci said, "My body will not be a tomb for other creatures." I really like that one. Anonymous, I don't know who this is from, but one online I found is, could you look an animal in the eyes and say to it, my appetite is more important than your suffering? Alice Walker said, the animals of the world would exist for their own reasons. They were not made for humans any more than blacks were made for whites and men and women for men. And the last one I have is by Gandhi, and he said, the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. So obviously all these people are vegan, and their quotes and the words that they speak just go to show how much of an impact it makes and how it's, in their minds as well as mine, the right choice. So I hope that these resources helped you, and please feel free to look at all of them online. Most of them are on YouTube or on Netflix. Actually, most documentaries are on Netflix. But I hope that this helps better inform you, and email me with any questions. Bye.